Hello everyone and welcome back to the Belgian Beer Brothers channel. Cedric here in Antwerp with yet another brew review. Don't mind me looking a bit startled, I just got attacked by a beetle here. But we are going for number 4 in the Collab series, number 2 by Vandestreek. And as I stated earlier, we are gonna do the Antwerp Brewing Company last for obvious reasons. That means that we are left with 2 options for today, being Van Mol with a black wheat wine, like a barley wine, but with wheat, aged on Chardonnay barrels, or Frontaal here in Breda, right around the corner, with a smoked Baltic porter aged on Speyside whiskey barrels. And that is a horribly tough choice. I'm going with the Baltic porter. I've been putting this off for 3 beers already, so it's Frontaal, right? Yes, smoked Baltic porter. Also, look at the inside of this box, how beautiful and how luxurious does that feel. I know it's a cardboard box, but it's the idea that counts. Okay, first things first, the packaging. Again, this can, very nice, organic looking. With this pattern, it really makes me think of like ink or coloring in water, or smoke patterns even. Yeah, kind of like it. Love the colors as well. I'm not the biggest fan, even though my logo is green and yellow. I am aware of this, but I'm not a fan of this kind of poisonous green and mustard yellow. Like this blob here reminds me of a I don't know what the name is in English, a pelgifkikker, so an arrowhead poison, like a poison dart frog. That's the one, I think. Dendrobates philobates in Latin. So a nice color scheme, not necessarily my favorite. This smoked Baltic porter is brewed with home smoked malts. Oh, that is a nice touch. Together with Frontaal, we fired up the smoker and gave the malt its rich, smoky character. Then we tucked the beer into Speyside whiskey casks to soak up gentle whiskey notes. Collab with Frontaal Brewing Company, that's in Breda if I'm not mistaken. Style smoked Baltic porter, so again very curious. Barrels Speyside whiskey. An ABV of 9.3, which is modest in my opinion for this series. An EBC of 135. I think that is one of the darkest ones that we've already had. Although I think that the stout was 150, 170 even. Ooh, that's harsh. So 135. I wouldn't be surprised if that is the next best thing. And 80 IBUs, that is bitter. Ingredients: water, barley malt, maltodextrin, hops and yeast. Now they did really dig into the added sugars for this series. Now I have nothing against that, and I am very happy that they put that on the label, because I do think that the consumer has the right to know. And I don't know if it's an obligation in the Netherlands, but in Belgium it is absolutely not necessary to put that on the label, and I personally think it should be. So let's check this out. Nice pour. Now, just the idea that they home smoked this, I happen to know the location of Frontaal Brewing Co. I haven't visited Vandestreek yet. It's been on my list for the past 2 years, and for some reason every time I want to go, people that are going with me are getting sick, or things happen, or so I really have to get there eventually. And Utrecht is not that far, but I do know that at Frontaal they do actually barbecue a lot and smoke a lot and things like that. So I do get the idea that they smoked, or home smoked even, their malts with this brewery. And also in a time that here in Belgium, and mind you, Breda is like 20 minutes across the border, well, maybe 30 minutes. Here in Belgium we have 4 of the 5 largest maltings in the world, and we can get any kind of malt that we want, smoked or otherwise, even peated, whatever. And there are German maltings that offer that, like the one in Bamberg, the one that provides Schlenkerla, Weyermann, for example. But I think it is quite a flex that they home smoked their malts. Okay, that all being said, rather dark, very dark. I thought I saw an edge of ruby red here, but I was completely imagining that. So pitch black, and this foam I would say is like the border between dark beige and light brown, so it is somewhere in that region. Again, it's like chocolate milk foam or mocha latte foam, but beautiful, creamy nonetheless. Oh wow, that is really smoky. But in a very pleasant way. It's not like smelling bacon, but it is smoky, it is slightly peated. I mean, it's not necessarily peated, but it does come across like it's a bit peaty. But yeah, lovely, lovely smoke aroma. Very light, campfirey, barbecuey. Very nice. And this being a Baltic porter, should be a lager for one. And I know that for a fact because I do organize the Baltic Porter Day in Belgium together with one of my good friends, Jacek Lotoczyk. And as the name suggests, he is Polish, he is an expert on the matter. I know this much and he has like the other 99% of the knowledge. But I do know a thing or two about Baltic porters. This is supposed to be a lager, I do believe when they say this. And I think 9.5% is, yeah, 9.5? 9.3 is rather high for a lager, but we've seen worse, we've seen heavier, but it does smell like, ooh. Oh, I wish I could share this with Jacek. Okay, well, let's have a taste. Cheers. Yeah, this is everything I expected it to be, and even a little bit more. First off, smoky, ashy, burnt wood, campfire all the way, as expected. Secondly, fantastic mouthfeel. Not too thick, not too thin, not too oily, not too creamy. Just really pleasant, not chewable, but you feel that there is something going on in there. Carbonation, a bit much, a bit more than I expected, because we don't see anything here, but it is quite high carbonated. And a lovely dance of flavor, and this is not a couple dance, this is an entire ballet. Of course, the first thing we notice is that smoky, ashy, woody flavor. Of course, it is barrel aged, and these are the Speyside whiskey barrels. seem to recall that they mentioned a house or a brand, but I completely forgot. Nonetheless, it is subtle enough to be very nice. It is strong enough to actually taste it, and that is a very nice balance point for this beer. We do still get those classic hints of coffee, of chocolate, but in this case a rather bitter dark chocolate, a light coffee. So not creamy, not milky, not mocha at all. Again, very nice. But smoke is most definitely the predominant flavor and aroma in this beer. So I think that they succeeded tremendously in their idea of making this a smoked Baltic porter. And despite being a 9.3% ABV, the mouthfeel is boozy, but the flavor is not strong at all, alcohol-wise. So this is like an in-between beer. Depending on how you look at it, this could be dangerous or not at all. Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of this. And the aftertaste is just awesome as well. And I'm gonna make a bold statement here. The aftertaste is bitter, soft, but it's kind of like when you dropped your meat into the barbecue, like you get all those ashy coal flavors. This is like chewing on leftover coals, but for some reason I kind of like that. So yeah, what a cool beer. And I've had the Moonlark and the Pinta and the Poyala, and but this one could go right up to the wall with those beers. Like I could refer you to the Baltic Porter Day series, those 4 beers. Lovely at all. Nepomucin was one of them as well. But yeah, this is really cool as well. Oh, I just took a really big sip, and that is when the whiskey aroma and the whiskey flavor releases. So I'm used to taking smaller sips for the tasting, but ever so often you have to take a big sip to really get all the flavors working for you. And in this case, that whiskey flavor is coming through. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, I really like this. I am gonna give this a 4. Yeah, even 4. I don't think I have anything to add to this. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up, leave a comment down below, all the usual things. If you want to support this channel, support me by sharing a video, support me by subscribing to the newsletter, support me by going to the Patreon page and either subscribe to the free tier or support me financially by donating like a half a beer a month, or you can donate as much as you want. But if you want to see more, just subscribe and hit the bell icon. You'll get notified whenever I upload something, and this channel will of course always be free. And I'll see you guys again in the next video, which should be tomorrow with, what was it? Oh yeah, the black wheat wine. So the wheat version of a barley wine aged on Chardonnay wine barrels. That is one that I'm really curious about, because I love aging beer on wine barrels. But I want to see how this turned out. Yeah, I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Cheers.